I can describe myself best as being a serial entrepreneur. All right. I have tried it all, but I didn't take the traditional route. I didn't go to university. I left school when I was 16 years old. And I wanted to have my own business always. So I started my first company when I was 20 years old. I had an international courier company and I did pretty well for myself. The money was good. I got to travel the world. I was delivering parcels all over the world, but I had no idea how to scale up my business. I had no idea from a managerial point of view. And after 3 years, I was burnt out, completely and utterly destroyed. I couldn't deal with the business. And in the end, I had to walk away from it. I moved next to Portugal. I tried to set up a mobile car servicing. I put a lot of money into, pretty much all my money, in fact, into research development, into buying equipment. Nobody cared about it because I could not sell it to them. And I opened my first restaurant. And I realized after I got this restaurant started, and you're working again all day long, you are the owner of your company, of your business, but you're not really the boss. Yep. Your customer is the boss. Yeah. Everybody is the boss except for you, in actual fact. Yep. I've just worked 80 hours plus this week for little to no money, not enough. And I ran out of money when I was 30 years old in Saigon, Vietnam, and I had $300 left in my pocket. So I started teaching English. I didn't really like the job, but the money was okay. And the money that I got, I invested it into made in Vietnam products. I found things that I could buy in the factories that I could ship back to Europe. I had an online business, but it was hard. And a lot of effort requires. What happened in 2008, the global financial crisis hit. It hit Europe and the UK very, very hard. All of a sudden, nobody wanted to buy my stuff. And I started to work as a restaurant manager or hotel F&B manager consultant. The worst investment that I ever made in my life. I was doing everything from cleaning the toilets to DJing to bartending to cooking or washing up. I found myself at the end of the high season without even enough money to pay the rent for the next year of the property. And I became a truck driver. I had to pay for my daughter. I had to keep the family going. It was a really hard decision. I went from being a business owner, respected in the local community, to being a truck driver, right? I needed to find a way out. I needed a business that I could carry around with me on my laptop. Eventually, I found two guys in the US, and they were using social media marketing. So basically advertising on Facebook. Okay. They were using web funnels. And I realized that I could use this business model to sell incredible products and make some seriously good business, but I didn't have a good product to sell. And all of a sudden in 2016, whilst I was still driving my truck in the UK, I came across a web class introducing Enagic. And I'm like, wow, this is amazing. If I can take this and I can put it with my online sales system that I've already learned to do, this is like a marriage made in heaven, right? And within 6 months, not quite, maybe 5 months, I was making more money from my Enagic business than I was from driving the truck in the UK. I quit my job. Suddenly in 2016, we kicked in and put the internet, me and there was a few other teams that really started to leverage the internet. And instead of doing live demos to a small room full of people, we could do a live web class to thousands of people in one go. Wow. And that changed everything. And that web class, it wasn't that we had to then get on the phone with everybody at the end of it. There's always a limited amount of people in the demo who are going to buy, right? It's not everybody who's going to buy. And we don't want to talk to the people who don't want to buy. It's not that we don't like them. It's not that we're impolite. It's that we don't want to waste our time and we don't want to waste their time, right? Right. So all of a sudden, having a web class connected to a funnel means that all of the people who are interested, they can move forward. And all of the people who are not interested, all they have to do is click away. They can go about their day. They can enjoy their life. Yeah. And I don't need to deal with them. Wow. So it instantly allowed us to talk to the right people straight away and to have a lot of very high quality leads to bring into our business.
I want to ask you this very important question because there are a lot of people who are watching you are very impressed with your results, with what you have done. But again, many times over and over, they always have this question, I can't do this. I'm not internet savvy. I am in my 60s. I don't know how to even, what is a funnel? So what's your advice to these people?
Okay.
How can they at least have a goal in the world of the internet marketing? What's your advice on this?
We have to grow. We have to develop, right? We have to move with the times. Now, I had absolutely no idea what a funnel was until 2015. Yeah. I had used eBay before, but very briefly, and eBay is a very simplified system. Yeah. I put some pictures up and take some money out. And for me to get involved in social media, for example, I never understood social media. Facebook, I think, started in 2005. For me, it was 2015 when I first logged into Facebook. So 10 years, I see all of my friends around, they're sharing pictures of their food and showing which color shirt they're wearing when they're going out. And I'm like, why the hell are people doing this? I don't understand it. I never understood. Why do we need to share all of the things that we're doing in our life? I don't know. I don't care about what you're doing. Yeah. If I meet you, okay. Yeah. But I don't need to see what you're doing for the rest of the week. So all of a sudden, when I got into Facebook, I realized that Facebook could be used to connect with an incredible amount of people. And it is, in actual fact, the single biggest marketing tool this world has ever come up with, ever. We have never before been able to communicate freely with people in Peru, with people in Hong Kong, with people in UK, with people in like Africa. Now, literally, all we have to do is pick up a little phone, right? And we can communicate freely and share ideas with people all over the world. Now, we can do that organically, and that is, you know, what most people use Facebook for. But we can also boost our posts by paying the companies to put our posts in front of 1,000 people, 2,000 people, 10,000 people, 1 million people. And that is the most powerful thing I ever saw. Instantly, I knew that I had to know more about this. Am I the best marketer in the world? No. Am I the biggest tech guy in the world? Absolutely not. I'm not a tech guy, still not a tech guy. Yeah? I still have to ask questions. But you have to understand the difference between resources and resourcefulness. And this world today, in 2022, we have never had so many resources in the history of mankind.
Yep.
People ask me, they come to me on a daily basis. When we were at the event, yeah, the biggest question that people came and asked me, Nate, what books are you reading? Now, I have to hold my hands up. I'm not a big reader. Yeah, I'm not a guy who goes out and buys loads of books and fills his library. I own a Kindle. I think the last time I uploaded a book onto it was maybe 12 months ago or more, right? However, the most important book that we all have, everybody has, is Google or YouTube. And we can literally now go out and we can ask a question. We don't even need to type. Yeah. We can press a button and we can talk into it and ask a question, and we can get answers from all over the world. And I don't care who you are, how old you are, what your education level is, what your background, your work history, whatever, you can Google, right? You can do the same on YouTube. On YouTube, there are people all over the world who've taken their time to teach you to do pretty much anything you can possibly imagine. Anything you can imagine and you don't know how to do, go onto YouTube right now, hit the search button, talk to it, and there will be somebody who has not only managed to do it, learned to do it, but they filmed up a video just for you and they put it out there on YouTube. So you can learn absolutely anything. So the resources are there for everybody. Right. But the question is, how resourceful are you? It is a question not of the resources. The resources are there. It's a question of your resourcefulness. If you want to tell yourself that you can't do it, then yeah, you've just told yourself, you've convinced yourself that you can't do it. But my answer to that is everybody can do it. And you don't need to be any kind of expert. You don't need to have been to university. You don't need to have learned things from from any kind of experience. Now you have people all over the internet who are ready and willing and have already filmed up little tutorials that you can learn from. And all you got to do is search for it. So the most important skill that anybody can have nowadays, and the only real skill you need, is to be able to click that little microphone button next to the search bar, talk into Google and ask it a question, because you can learn absolutely anything from doing that simple thing. Yeah. So anybody can do it.
We spoke about this, Nate. I did tell you that there's another way. It's called collaboration. Remember, we spoke about it during the dinner. What's your view about, okay, I don't know how to do this, but I can always collaborate with somebody who knows? What's your view on that?
We can always find people with different skill sets. Yeah. Maybe you are 100% traditional. Maybe you don't even like to use computers or anything like that. And maybe you're happy to do demos. Maybe you're happy to introduce the water and just let people share your water. Maybe that's your thing. Maybe you love it. And that's great. I respect you for that. But I'm sure you've got like a 20-year-old nephew somewhere who is a complete and a tech genius. And he, given the right business that we all have in the power of our hands, he can take it in that online level. Yeah, he can do it in a different way. And it's really important to see that everybody has access to all different kinds of people. We don't have to do the things that we're not comfortable doing. All we have to do is we have to have conversations with the people who know how to do things. So yeah, collaboration, and to collaborate with people and at the same time have the most incredible business model in the palm of your hands. Yeah, is something that is really powerful, because you can literally give that business model to so many different kinds of people from different backgrounds, different educations, different walks of life, and they will all do something completely different with it, but can all succeed in their own ways.
Yeah, amazing. What Nate is trying to tell you is the internet can do this for you. It does it very well for you. So that's why there's a lot of questions. I was doing so many talks in the US the last couple of weeks, and everybody keep asking me the same question. Gary, do I need to be on the internet? Gary, do I need to go internet marketing? Gary, I'm not good at it. And I always tell them the answer is a big YES. You need, because if that is the super highway, that is where everybody is traveling. That is where everybody's eyeballs is. If you are not there, you are missing out big time. But I always tell them, the good news is you don't have to do it yourself if you don't want to. You can always get somebody to do it. Have creative. That's why I like what you mentioned, Nate, is really, really true. The resources are all there. You just need to be resourceful enough to get these resources, creative enough to get them. But the answer is yes. That's the reason why as soon as I got back here, I want Nate to talk to you all. Because the answer is a big YES. The internet is not going to go away, guys. Tomorrow, Google will still be there. Facebook will still be there. YouTube will still be there. You know, so you have to be there. I know, I can see some of my team, a lot of my team members are here. I know a lot of you are not on doing what Nate is doing. But my point is, you have to do what he's doing. But you don't need to know don't need to know how, because there's many ways you can do it without even knowing how. Collaboration is one of them. Asking Dr. Google is another. Do a win-win project with somebody is another way, you know. But the answer is yes.
Actually, face-to-face with anybody doing it, right? I was just in my own home in front of my laptop, and now I have my own little studio. I'm in a fixed place, but before I was traveling around. I was in various different places all of the time and continually working. Yeah.
And this guy doesn't even have a team or anybody. I was told he has only 1 or 2 users in Vietnam. Yeah. He's living in a place in Vietnam, and his business is not even in Vietnam. It's all over the world, in US and Europe.
82 countries now.
How many countries?
82.
82, guys. Can you imagine trying to talk to people in 82 countries without the internet? Ask yourself this question. I'm not here to tell you what's right, what's wrong, what you need. But look, this is possible. Okay? Seriously, the internet is a must. M-U-S-T. Find a way. Instead of saying, no, I don't know how to do it. Okay, let's forget it. Move on. Find a way to get yourself in it, because this is going to change your business 100, 1,000, 1,000,000 folds.
I remember the first ever time I filmed a video. Yeah, it was in 2016, like in January 2016. And I went onto the rooftop of the Rex Hotel in downtown Saigon. And I'd never filmed a video before in my life. And all I needed to do, I actually stole somebody else's video. I was using a video from somebody else, and I needed to put like a 10-15 second intro on the front of the video using my face. And I'd written it out, and I wasn't feeling very confident. So I went to the barber shop. I got a haircut. I got a shave, a little bit of a massage, neck rub. And I went out to the rooftop, and I put my camera, just my phone. Yeah, we all have a recording studio now. We don't need professional equipment. Literally, phone is all you need. You have everything there. So I put my phone on a tripod and I started talking, and it took me 36 attempts. I still have it in my Google Photos, 36 videos of me messing up, of me making a video, even though it was only 15 seconds long, that wasn't good enough. And I kept doing it again, and people were staring at me and like, why are you repeating the same thing over and over again into the camera? I'm like, whatever, ignore me. And I kept putting that video out until I got it kind of right. And I was semi-satisfied at the end after 36 times. And after 36 times, I'm like, okay, that will do. It's good enough. It's not perfect, but it's good enough. So I went home and I used just an editor on my phone, and I stuck my little intro on the front of this other video that I downloaded. And I put that video out on my Facebook page, and I paid Facebook, I forget how much, maybe a couple of $100 to promote that video. And I got 1.4 million views.
Whoa, 1.4 million.
1.4 million views, yeah.
Wow.
And that was the thing that started my business. And now that's not because I'm super popular. That's not because I have like 5 million friends online or whatever. It is because I paid Facebook a few $100s to promote that video, just video views. I wasn't asking for anything. I wasn't asking anybody to click on my website or go here or whatever. I just wanted Facebook to put it in front of people. And that 1.4 million views is how I started my business. Yeah.
And what, if you don't mind, was there any conversion in that 1.4 million?
It's difficult to tell because I wasn't trying to convert. Yeah,
okay.
that wasn't my intention. My intention was literally just to put it in front of people's eyes to see what would happen. But I did get a lot of comments. I did get a lot of messages. I did get a lot of people who were very interested in what I had to say. So I can't tell you exactly what kind of conversion rate it is, but from that onwards, I got a lot of people whose eyes were on my fan page, my new business page that I'd set up. Wow. And that allowed me to put more posts on my fan page, more direct, more specific posts. And there were already people who had their eyes on me because of that video that they saw.
Wow. Wow. So, yeah. So what you are saying is that the internet is the greatest, is the greatest tool to bring people to you.
Absolutely.
And
absolutely.
Here
Imagine you have a shop on a street, with 3 billion people walking past your shop every day. That's essentially what Facebook does for us. And it's not just Facebook. Yeah. Now we have TikTok, we have Reddit, we have YouTube, we have LinkedIn. We have so many different platforms that are doing a similar job. And Facebook may or may not be with us forever. It doesn't matter. There will be 100 other ones right behind it. And there will always be some coming up and some coming down. And they allow us to literally use, to have our shop front with 3 billion people walking past it. Right. And this is what you cannot ignore.
Yeah, that's why guys, when you listen to stories like this from Nate, it again reaffirms that you cannot, and I repeat, you cannot ignore the internet. Every day that you are not on the internet, how can you imagine just one video that is not even done by him? It's just the intro is done by him. 1.4 million. Okay, but of course, guys, again, the internet is always remember that pay $1 to get 2. You need to pay something. There are a lot of people who expect free for nothing. But I want to say one thing is, please put it into action and not start tomorrow. Not tomorrow. Start something today. You have heard what Nate has shared with you. You have probably taken down some notes. Remember, knowing and not doing is as good as not knowing. All right. So it doesn't make any difference if you know everything that Nate has to say. But if you are not doing it, nothing is going to change. Remember, we are not an entertainment movie today. All right. Big thank you to Nate for such an amazing, inspiring, and motivating session today.